Good evening, I'm Charles Payne, and tons of breaking news tonight. First, President-elect Donald Trump will meet with Mitt Romney this weekend. That's right, the 2012 Republican nominee who slammed Trump midway through the primary, essentially leading the establishment Republican war against the Republican candidate. Oh, of course, Romney called Trump unfit. Trump, of course, replied that Romney is a loser, or was a loser. Now, today in the marbled halls of Trump Tower, in the lobby, it was the epicenter of power players who eventually could serve under the president-elect. Rudy Giuliani entered the Fifth Avenue building once again. Jeff Sessions also made an appearance. House Financial Services Chairman Jeb Hensarling, he was there as well. Governor Nikki Haley, former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, both previously sharply criticized candidate Trump. They met with the president-elect, as did retired General Jack Keane and Admiral Mike Rogers. And, well, the highest-ranking foreign official to grace Trump Tower, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe of Japan, slated to be there within the past hour. As for say that 3 times fast, Trump team, they say everything is on track.
These are people at the top of their game that want to buy into this vision of making this country great. It's been unbelievable. It's fast-paced. Things are getting done. Things are moving forward to make sure that this administration is ready on day one.
Joining me now, Liz Peek, Guy Benson, and Lisa Boothe. Guy, I'll start with you. Man, I mean, it's just, you know, they've got this new cam there so you can watch all day long who comes in and out, and then it's been one heck of a parade. What do you make of it all?
Yeah, reality TV at its very best, because it's high-stakes reality TV. Just tune in and dial up your internet browser to the live cam. I think C-SPAN's been on it most of the day, and you're seeing a cast of characters traipsing in and out of Trump Tower, because I think that it's not much of a secret that Team Trump was surprised by their victory, and it's time for them to staff up. And you have some very high-level folks coming through, including, as you just said, over the weekend, we're going to see Mitt Romney and some other people who've been very critical of Donald Trump maybe coming together and at least, whether it's kissing the ring or being considered seriously, I think it's encouraging to see the breadth of people that are showing up. I
think so, too. By the way, on Twitter, I've got my Payne poll up, asking about Mitt Romney if you think it's great that Mitt would be a perfect choice for Secretary of State, or hell no, Mitt went too far, or it's okay. It's time for them to clear the air. Liz, I mean, people have very mixed emotions about the different people that are being rumored for different jobs, of course, and it feels to some like a circus, but it is a vetting process.
Yeah, and by the way, this is not unusual. When the Clintons took office, those many years ago, they didn't even have a transition team office in place at the time, because they too were sort of surprised by a victory, and from Arkansas they didn't have a whole lot of people lined up. I think the big thing here is there are not an enormous number of people who worked on the campaign, who have their hands out, who are ready to move into the you know, extended Oval Office, etc. But I like Guy, I like a lot of the people who are coming through here. Mitt Romney, conservatives' heads would explode if he gets appointed to some senior position. But let's face it, he is an extraordinarily capable manager, and I cite his turning around of the Olympics in Los Angeles, did an unbelievably good job. If he was put in charge of Veterans Administration or you know, Homeland Security or something, those are not probably likely, but I'm saying something that really kind of needs to be shaped up. I really think Mitt Romney would do a terrific job.
Lisa, I think also this goes a long ways toward that whole big question mark about Donald Trump and temperament and can he be presidential? He has put the olive branch out to so many people who were staunch critics of his.
Well, absolutely. And not to mention, to follow up on Liz's point, President Obama took a few weeks as well to name his first cabinet position as well. So I think there's been a lot of hyperventilation among the media, which is completely overblown. But yeah, I do think it shows an adult Donald Trump. I mean, trying to bring some of these people into the fold, if he does. He's looked at apparently Mitt Romney, having a meeting with him. Senator Ted Cruz's name has been floated around as well, who was sort of late to the party in endorsing Donald Trump. I think that's a positive thing to bring some of these individuals in the fold, because it does show an adult Donald Trump that he's looking at just finding the best people, regardless if they support it or not. And also, if you look at it politically, it's smart as well, because if he's looking to 2020 and you bring some of these naysayers and people that rejected you during the campaign, into the fold, well, guess what? You don't have to worry about those individuals either making noise or trying to, have any sort of primary challenge for you in 2020. So it's smart politically, and I think it shows that he's being an adult in the decision-making process.
Although the aftermath of this guy, I would say Donald Trump would have to have a miserable 4 years for any of these would-be challengers to step up to the plate. He crushed them convincingly, and now, listen, they've got to a degree, humble themselves, and many of them have, some for the good of the party, perhaps some for the good of their own careers. Yeah,
well, it takes a lot for an incumbent president to get challenged seriously within his own party. I think unless something unforeseen happens, which could happen, it's 2016 and that cycle beyond, it's been a weird one, but Donald Trump in all likelihood will be the Republican nominee again next time as the incumbent president. That's just sort of the way things work. By the way, one thing I'm sort of interested by is that Romney's apparently coming in to talk about Secretary of State, that position, and setting aside some of the differences on Russia that he may have with Donald Trump, wouldn't he be better suited for maybe Treasury or Commerce or something like that as such a successful businessman? Although I did think the suggestion about the VA was an interesting one, a good one maybe, because he's not a veteran himself, he never served, but he is a turnaround artist, and Lord knows that the VA needs a serious root and branch turnaround. Maybe someone with that skill set would be good
maybe.
at VA.
Liz, most of the speculation is around Secretary of State. I even heard Petraeus' name brought up today. Yeah. Of course, let's not forget, initially, apparently, 48 hours ago, which seems like forever these days, it was between Rudy Giuliani, right, and John Bolton.
Right. Well, we've moved on, apparently. But I want to go back to this conversation about Ted Cruz and some of these other characters who could have challenged or could still expect to challenge the incoming president in 2020. Remember, Obama picked a potential challenger, Hillary Clinton, to serve as Secretary of State. There was a lot of conversation about keeping your enemies close, right? Exactly. Ted Cruz in the administration as Attorney General or something like that, I think that would be a masterstroke because of all the young guys, all the young Turks who want to go after, who want to run again aggressively. We know he is in the forefront of that. So, and by the way, just as a footnote, Dr. Kissinger is, I think, not in line for at 92. He's not going to take a job. But I think it's very good, again, to Lisa's point, that he's kissing the ring, that he's going to meet with Kissinger. Kissinger is a very smart, very clued-in guy, has a lot of opinions about the stuff Trump's been talking about.
There's no doubt about it.